The chair recognizes the gentleman from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I appreciate the opportunity to offer this amendment, and I would urge my colleagues to support it. It's an amendment of innovation and expansion for educational opportunities for our young children. In 1965, when Head Start was implemented, state-run early childhood development programs didn't exist. Since then, and most recently in the past 15 years, states have invested considerable resources into early childhood initiatives. This amendment seeks to provide an incredible opportunity for 8 states to participate in a 5-year demonstration program and leverage their resources and experience to improve school readiness. It would allow 8 states to coordinate Head Start and early state-run childhood education programs, thus improving coordination, preventing duplication, and expanding the number of children that can be served by the early childhood services. To carry it out, safeguards would be put in place. States would have to ensure that participants receive services that are as good or better than those in the Head Start program, including health, nutrition, mental health services, on top of the educational services. Enacting a demonstration program will result in expanding the number of children that can be served, which is not possible in Head Start or just a state-run program alone. This is an innovative program that would help more children in our nation, and I urge my colleagues to adopt this amendment, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Georgia reserves the balance of his time. For what purpose does the gentleman from California rise?
I rise in opposition to this amendment.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman and members of the House, we're here today to authorize the Head Start program. What this amendment would do would simply end Head Start in those 8 states as we know it. There would be no requirement that those states would take the money that we have set aside, that we've worked hard to provide within the budget for the Head Start program, and use it to implement a program that is anything like Head Start, because there would simply be no requirements on that money to provide the kind of comprehensive programs that are now required under the Head Start program that have demonstrated the success. Spent an hour with speakers from both sides of the aisle attesting to in their own districts or on the national basis, as members of the committee have talked about what we're doing in this reauthorization. These states would be eligible for these funds without demonstrating any expertise or commitment to the high quality of this proven preschool program. And essentially, that's the end of it in those 8 states. Now, maybe one of those states will have a strong commitment to Head Start and all the rest of it. Well, that's what Head Start is. That's what Head Start is. Why are we running this money through another filter system to recreate the Head Start program? We already require. We went through a series of hearings about coordination with the states to make sure that, in fact, Head Start coordinates with other state programs and state agencies. But we also know that because of what we have done with Head Start over the years, where we've provided reauthorization after reauthorization, the continuous improvement of the programs that are integral to the success of Head Start and to the success of the children, where we've used scientific-based educational and performance standards, where we've provided for accountability and oversight and evaluation of the program, where we've provided for the parent policy councils. All of these things that have been integral to this program over this time to bring it to a point now where we can see that it demonstrates a marked impact on these young children in closing the achievement gap for these children, in getting them ready in the skills that they will need for early reading, for early math, for early writing. That's what this program does. There's not many states that do any of that. They have a lot of early child programs. They have a lot of child programs. They have a lot of it, but they don't have this comprehensive program, and that's why this is the premier program in the nation for the education and for the development of these young children. That's why we should not support this block grant amendment. I dare say that we have watched over the last decade effort after effort be made to block grant programs, and they've generally, where they've been successful, they've been the first step to the budget cuts, to the loss of quality, and that's what's involved here. We again, when we structured this legislation and consideration of the budget and the increases in the money, we're putting 60% of the money into quality, into teacher and professional development, into salaries, because we recognize that we have to have that continuous update and that improvement of the Head Start program. Voting for this amendment is not to vote for Head Start. It's to vote for something, but it's not to vote for Head Start. And it's in fact detrimental because that money then is out of the Head Start system to be used for whatever purposes. And in fact, you can take this federal money and then withdraw the local money. There's no requirement in this amendment that there be a maintenance of effort by a state to do this. So what have you really done is you've taken money for the federal taxpayers that paid into this program that we have decided on a bipartisan basis should go for the Head Start program, and you said, oh, you can give it to a state and they can draw their money out the bottom. So we put in the taxpayers' money in the top and the state takes the money out the bottom. That's not going to improve quality. That's not going to improve access. Now you can argue that maybe you could add a lot of children to a program, not the Head Start program, because the Head Start program is expensive because we do it the way it should be doing, the way it's been scientifically analyzed and supported by the data. You can put a lot of kids in low quality programs, but that's not what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve quality so we get the results that Head Start gets and most other states don't get. And I reserve the balance of my time.